A customer slid a set of keys across my counter last month and said, "Just tell me what it's worth." It was a 2016 pickup that stickered it at 58 grand brand new. Leather everywhere, a legendary engine badge on the fender, tow numbers that embarrassed half-ton trucks. I looked up the auction values and had to read them twice. $8,000. Not 18. 8. That's an 86% loss on a truck with a Cummins under the hood. And the reason it collapsed this hard? Almost nobody talking about this truck will say it out loud. I will. The truck I'm talking about is the Nissan Titan XD diesel, specifically the 2016 to 2019 models with the 5.0-liter Cummins FIV 8 turbodiesel. A loaded Platinum Reserve version of this truck carried a window sticker right around $58,000 to $62,000 when it launched. Nissan marketed it as the truck that would finally break Ford, Chevy, Audi, and Ram's stranglehold on the diesel pickup market. Cummins put their name on the valve covers. The commercials were everywhere. And today, high-mileage examples are trading hands at numbers that would make the original owners physically ill. Clean, lower-mileage trucks still pull mid-teens. But the rough ones, the high-mileage ones, the ones with a certain warning light glowing on the dash, 8 grand, sometimes less at auction. I've watched them get passed over at dealer auctions like they're radioactive. After 2 decades of working on diesels, I can tell you this collapse didn't happen for one reason. It happened for 5 reasons stacked on top of each other. And the 5th one is the killer. That's the one that turns a $58,000 truck into an $8,000 truck overnight. And it's the one I'm going to spend the most time on, because if you're thinking about buying one of these cheap, and believe me, they are tempting, you need to understand exactly what you're walking into. Because here's the twist I'll get to at the end. For the right buyer, with the right knowledge, this might actually be one of the best truck deals in America right now. Let's get into it. Reason number 1, the truck nobody asked for. Nissan built the Titan XD to live in a gap between half-ton trucks like the F-150 and heavy-duty trucks like the F-250. On paper, that sounds brilliant. More capability than a half-ton, easier to live with than a 3/4 ton. In reality, that middle ground turned out to be a no-man's land. Buyers who needed serious towing capacity went straight to an F-250 or Ram 2500, while buyers who wanted a comfortable daily driver bought a regular half-ton. The XD was heavier than a half-ton, so it rode stiffer and drank more fuel. But it wasn't a true heavy-duty either. Its diesel towing capacity topped out around 12,300 pounds, which sounds impressive until you realize a gas F-150 of the same era could match it while getting better fuel economy and costing less. So from day one, the resale market for this truck was thin. When you go to sell a used F-250, there are 100 buyers looking for one. When you go to sell a used Titan XD, you're hunting for the one guy in your county who specifically wants this exact oddball configuration. Thin demand means falling prices. That's economics 101, and it was already working against this truck before anything mechanical went wrong. Reason number 2, the diesel that didn't deliver diesel benefits. People buy diesel pickups for 2 reasons: fuel economy and longevity. The 5.0 Cummins delivered neither the way buyers expected. This engine made 310 horsepower and 555 pound-feet of torque, which is healthy. But real-world fuel economy hovered in the mid-teens. Owners were seeing 15, 16 miles per gallon. A gas half-ton did that for thousands less up front, without the diesel fuel premium, without the DEF fluid, without the expensive oil changes. An oil change on this Cummins takes roughly 13 quarts. You're paying diesel ownership costs without getting diesel ownership rewards. The math never worked, and used truck buyers can smell bad math from a mile away. Reason number 3. Nissan pulled the plug twice. Here's something a lot of people don't realize about used truck values. When a manufacturer kills a model, the used market punishes every example ever built. Confidence evaporates. Buyers start asking, will parts be available in 10 years? Will my dealer even know how to work on this? Nissan discontinued the Cummins diesel option after 2019, just 4 model years in. That was strike 1, and it told the entire market that Nissan itself had given up on the concept. Then, Nissan discontinued the entire Titan lineup after 2024. Strike 2, and the market reacted exactly how you'd expect. The Titan XD is now the fastest depreciating full-size pickup on the market, losing around 2/3 of its value in just 5 years, more than any leading full-size truck. And that's for the newer gas models. Even the standard Titan sheds about 49% of its value in 5 years. The first-generation diesel trucks, the 2016 to 2019 XD trucks, they fell off a cliff. Discontinued trucks lose parts support and buyer confidence faster than models still in production, and this one got discontinued while carrying baggage we're about to get into. Reason number 4, the emissions system from hell. Before we even get to the big one, understand that the 5.0 Cummins came wrapped in a modern diesel emission system, and that system has been a headache. The EGR valve on the 2016 to 2019 trucks is vulnerable to carbon buildup that causes it to stick open or closed, triggering check engine lights, misfires, and rough running. Worse, the EGR cooler itself has a manufacturing defect that makes it prone to cracking, which causes an internal coolant leak and, over time, overheating as the coolant level drops. I've personally seen 2 of these come in with mystery coolant loss, and both times it was the EGR cooler. That's a 4-figure repair. Add in DPF regeneration issues, DEF system sensors, and turbo actuator faults that were common enough to generate technical service bulletins, and you've got a truck where the check engine light is practically a permanent dashboard decoration on neglected examples. Now, all of that is bad, but all of that combined is not what turns a $58,000 truck into an $8,000 truck. What did that is reason number 5. Reason number 5, the ticking time bomb bolted to the front of the engine. The 5.0 Cummins uses a Bosch CP 4.2 high-pressure fuel injection pump. If you know diesels, you just winced. If you don't, let me explain why this one component destroyed this truck's reputation and its resale value. The CP4 pump was designed and built to the specifications of European diesel fuel. American ultra-low sulfur diesel is less lubricious, meaning it doesn't lubricate the pump's internal components the way European fuel does. When the pump runs on US diesel, internal metal parts can wear against each other and generate metal shavings that contaminate the entire fuel system. Those shavings eventually block the fuel injectors and cause a full engine shutdown with no ability to restart. Read that again. Metal shavings through the entire fuel system. When a CP4 lets go, it doesn't just fail quietly. It grenades itself and sends metallic debris downstream into every injector, every fuel line, every rail. The fix isn't a new pump. The fix is a complete fuel system replacement. Pump, injectors, lines, rails, tank cleaning, all of it. And what does that cost? One Texas owner whose 2017 Titan XD had a fuel pump failure on the highway was quoted $22,000 for the repair at the dealership. $22,000. on a truck worth maybe 12. The typical damage from one of these failures runs more than $10,000 to repair. And it doesn't wait for high mileage either. One owner in the class action lawsuit had his fuel pump fail catastrophically at roughly 33,000 miles while driving on the interstate near Baton Rouge. The truck completely shut off and had to be towed. Yes, I said lawsuit. Nissan and Cummins were hit with a class action claiming the 2016 to 2019 Titan XD's CP4 pumps are defective, and the complaint alleges the companies, along with the auto industry at large, have been aware of this defect for at least a decade. More than 432,000 vehicles equipped with CP4 pumps across the industry have been subject to recall. This isn't just a Nissan problem, by the way. Ford's 6.7 Power Stroke and GM's LML Duramax used CP4 pumps too, and they've had their own lawsuits. But here's the difference. An F-250 has such massive demand behind it that the market absorbed the CP4 risk. The Titan XD had no such cushion. It was already an orphan truck with thin demand, and when word of five-figure fuel system failures spread through the forums and the Facebook truck groups, buyers didn't just get cautious, they left entirely. And here's the part that genuinely makes me angry as a mechanic. Owners with extended powertrain warranties have been fighting to get these failures covered. I've read accounts of guys with $23,000 repair quotes getting denied because the failure gets blamed on fuel contamination, which conveniently isn't a warranty item. So picture the position an owner is in. Your truck is worth 12 grand on a good day. The repair is 20,000 plus. The warranty company is pointing fingers at the gas station. What do? You dump the truck. And every dumped truck hitting the market pushes prices down further. That's the death spiral. That's how you get to $8,000. If this breakdown is saving you from an expensive mistake or setting you up for a smart one, hit subscribe. I do this every week. Real numbers, real failures, and the trucks dealerships hope you don't ask questions about. Now here's the twist. This truck might be a screaming deal. Everything I just told you is true. And yet, if you cornered me and asked whether I'd ever put someone into one of these trucks, my honest answer is, for the right buyer, absolutely. Here's why. First, the engine itself, the actual Cummins block, heads, rotating assembly, is genuinely stout. This is a compacted graphite iron block V8 that Cummins engineered for commercial-grade durability. The bottom end is not the problem. The emissions plumbing and that fuel pump are the problem. And both of those are fixable permanently for a known price. The CP 4.2 issue has a real solution. The aftermarket has developed replacement and upgraded pump options specifically for this engine that address the failure mode. And there are disaster prevention kits that stop a pump failure from contaminating the whole system. You can proactively replace the pump on a healthy truck for a few $1,000s, a fraction of what a failure costs, and largely retire the biggest risk this truck carries. On top of that, the Titan XD came from the factory with a lift pump and a water separator, which helps deliver cleaner fuel to that sensitive injection pump, and religious fuel filter changes, plus a quality lubricity additive in every tank meaningfully prolong the pump's life. The guys on the owner forums who've run additives and stayed on top of their filters from day one are out there with healthy trucks at big miles. The failures cluster around neglect, water in the fuel, and bad luck. So run the mechanic math with me. Say you find a decent 2017 XD diesel for $12,000. You immediately spend $3,500 on a proactive pump solution and a full fluid and filter service. You're now into a Cummins-powered, near-heavy-duty crew cab truck for about $15,500 with its single biggest weakness addressed. A comparable year Ram 2500 Cummins with similar miles is a truck worth $35,000 to $40,000. You just got 80% of the capability for 40% of the money. That's the trade. Known risk, known fix, massive discount. If you're shopping for one, here's my inspection checklist. First, and this is non-negotiable, get the fuel system inspected before money changes hands. Pull the Stage 2 fuel filter and look at it. Any glitter, any metallic sheen in that filter, walk away immediately. That's a pump that's already eating itself. No price is low enough. Second, ask for the maintenance records and look specifically for fuel filter intervals. An owner who changed both filters on schedule and can tell you which fuel additive they ran is the owner you buy from. An owner who shrugs at the question is handing you a grenade with a loose pin. Third, check for coolant loss. Look at the overflow tank level, ask when coolant was last topped off, and scan for any stored codes. Unexplained coolant disappearance on these trucks points at that cracking EGR cooler, and that's a repair you price into your offer or walk away from. Fourth, check that the water and fuel drain has actually been used. There's a quick drain on the primary filter canister for a reason. If the current owner doesn't know it exists, assume water has been sitting in that system. Fifth, verify every recall and service bulletin has been performed. VIN check, 5 minutes, free. These trucks had several campaigns, and an example with open recalls tells you everything about how it was maintained. Who should buy this truck? Someone mechanically inclined or with a trusted diesel shop who tows in the range of 8,000 to 12,000 pounds and wants Cummins power at Craigslist prices. Someone who will spend the money up front on the pump solution instead of gambling. And someone buying to keep it, not flip it, because the resale is gone and it's not coming back. Who should run away? Anyone who needs this truck as their only vehicle and can't absorb downtime. Anyone planning to finance a big repair bill on hope. And anyone who buys it cheap and then skips the preventive work because that person isn't buying a discount truck, they're buying a countdown timer. So there it is, a $58,000 pickup worth $8,000. And now you know the real reason why. It wasn't one failure. It was an orphan truck with thin demand, diesel costs without diesel benefits, a dead model line, a nightmare emission system, and a fuel pump defect so serious it spawned a class action lawsuit. The market didn't misprice this truck. The market priced in the risk. Your edge is knowing exactly what that risk is and exactly what it costs to remove it. Before you go, take a look at our complete smart used car buyer library. All 5 guides are bundled together at a special discounted price, and the link is in the description. If you want to see the used trucks on the other end of this spectrum, the ones that hold value because they've earned it in the shop, I made a full video on that, and it's right here. Like the video if it saved you from a bad buy or pointed you toward a good one. Subscribe for more of the truth dealerships won't tell you. Drive safe, take care of your truck, and it'll take care of you. Take it or leave it. I'll see you in the next one.